Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. I got two new Squale releases for you today. I did a release maybe a month ago or so. The green dial Profundo goes from green to black. So today I've got two 1521 COSC or COSC releases. They released a black version of the 1521 COSC diver about a year ago, or sometime last year, but it was a very limited release, and I believe only they sold it. It didn't go to any stores. So it's back now, and it's coming to stores such as mine, and it's in black again, and now it's also in that beautiful, beautiful blue. So we're gonna check those two out. There are more models coming down the pipe. They did release a whole bunch of them. I think a lot of them are not exactly ready yet. There's like a white dial Militare, there's I think a bronze or brass model coming, a whole bunch of stuff. So give me a lot of releases from Squale, I'm gonna guess, this summer. For my own wish check, we're still in the honeymoon phase of the Doxa 300T Clive Cussler model. Yeah, it's great, I love it, it's comfortable, not too heavy. Bracelet is amazing. On the other wrist, something, well, not new for me. I've had this watch for well over a decade. It is a Ulyss Maxi Marine chronometer. I just don't wear it a lot, but I figured put on something different today. It's a beautiful blue. That's all I have here. Let's see what I've got there. So we'll start with the presentation because there happens to be a presentation box that comes in a dry box. Standard fare for a dive watch, right? And most people know what these are. Although I've been on many dive boats because I do scuba and also snorkeling and stuff. I've never seen anybody bring one of these little briefcases with them and pop it open and strap on their watch. I don't know, I think you get some weird stares if you did. But anyway, it certainly makes a nice presentation after you spend all the money for the watch. We'll get into all that in a minute. So you'll get the usual Squale paperwork and stuff, and then two things that come with it are a cert from Squale that it's a chronometer, signed by Andrea Maggi. He is the CEO of Squale. And just really quick, he is actually like direct lineage of the people who represented Squale when Charles von Buren founded the brand. So it's kind of still in the family kind of brand. And then you also get the official COSC or COSC certificate. And I'll get into what COSC means in a minute. And it'll have all the variations and stuff in it. You might be familiar with these certs, you may not. In the box, you'll get a watch, which is a good thing, right? And you get an extra strap. The watches both will come on this Tropic style rubber strap. And then you get an extra, what they're claiming or calling, not claiming, because I believe them, it is a vegetable tanned leather strap. But they are claiming that it's more water resistant than a standard leather strap is. So I brought there's two COSC models, as I mentioned, the blue dial and a black dial. And I brought some of the non-COSC models with me so we can just kind of compare and contrast a bit and go over it. So I guess first, probably the smart idea is just go over the two COSC models and what they mean. So obviously, not obviously to me, black dial is in my left hand, blue dial is in my right hand. Both of them are the same price, around $1,600. Specs are the same, everything's the same except for the dial color and the bezel color. So what does COSC mean? Well, I did a watch and learn on COSC, and if I remember in editing, I will put up a link to it. In short, the movement, not the watch, the movement is sent to this independent laboratory in Switzerland, and they verify that the movement has a certain accuracy in various positions and under various temperature variations and various positions. On the whole, basically, if you want a short form, the watch maintains +6 to -4 seconds a day in a variety of positions and temperatures. The movement after being certified goes back to Squale for installation in a watch. It's important to note that COSC testing, and a lot of people don't realize this, is not done at the watch level. It's done at the movement level. That's enough. So it's actually the same size as the traditional 1521 that you've seen me wear and the other ones that we'll bring out in a minute. So it is 40, it's just shy of 42 to the bezel. That's the way I market them. But the bezel sticks out proud from the case, just a scrimmaging. So it's more like 40.5 or 41 to the case, but we're gonna call it just about 42 to the bezel. 12.5 thick to a flat sapphire crystal with AR on the inside. We are looking at 48 millimeters lug tip to lug tip, solid screw down case back. This number on the back corresponds to the serial number for the movement for COSC tracking. So as I mentioned, the strap that it comes on is this Tropic rubber strap. It is 20 millimeters. You get the bonus strap. The Squale mesh bracelets, being 20 millimeters, made for the 1521, will also fit this model, although maybe the finishes won't line up perfectly. You probably want to go for the blasted one as opposed to the polished one. Water resistance is 500 meters. The weight's about 100 grams. The movement inside is a Sellita SW200, and as I mentioned, the movement itself has been certified to be a chronometer by COSC, so your accuracy is awesome. So similar to the polished Ocean watch, which I'll bring up in a minute, it's got this beautiful Sunburst dial. You can probably get it pretty close. Beautiful Sunburst dial. Unlike the other 1521s, has applied markers, a nice, beautiful bezel. The bezel has lume, again, unlike the other ones. And again, I'll bring it up soon. I'll bring it to you. But a lot of it is the same. I would say from 5 feet away, they look like the identical watch. Just, another $600 or so in price for that testing and then some of the other bonus stuff that you saw. Chaptering is brushed on this one, or maybe it's more of like a blasted. The case is brushed. Very nice. Brushing on the top. You see that? Brushing on the sides. There is just a bit of polishing on the chamfers here. Looks super nice. Very well finished. The finishing on this is amazing. All around, beautiful watch. So I'm going to compare it first to, I'm going to bring up the 1521 polished blue. This is the #1 selling 1521 model. And besides the 1545 kind of Rolex clones, this is the #1 selling model outside of those in the entire Squale lineup. Beautiful polished case. Wonderful, wonderful Sunburst blue dial. And I'm looking at them now head on to me, and I guess they're identical. Very close to being identical. Maybe this is a shade lighter, kind of tough to tell. But so this is the polished blue. You can see the differences in the bezel. Bezel insert, as I said, this bezel insert's loomed. This one's not, so this doesn't have any depressed markings. This is they're both aluminum inserts, important to note, but this is filled with lume on this guy. So the other one, I guess I should really compare these two. This is the blasted blue. Blasted blue is a beautiful blasted case and a matte dial. So again, these two that I showed you on the left here, these are standard 1521 Squale divers, price, I don't know, somewhere around $900 to $1,000 or so. This is the COSC version. So knowing that, then you have the black version. Now the black version, also very similar. There are non-COSC versions that are polished and fully blasted. Let's get those hands out of the way. So as I mentioned, it's a Sellita, so it hand winds, hacks, 40 hours of power reserve. But now I can say what the accuracy is, +6, -4. The beauty of the Squale 1521 or 50 Atmos case is that the crown. So the crown tucks away nice and snugly. I don't want to say tightly, nice and snugly here in the corner. The only thing is that if you need to adjust the time and you have big fingers, it is kind of tough to unscrew and get. But because look at how hidden it becomes, right? It kind of disappears. But that's the beauty of it. Screw it down. It's got a Von Burn family crest on it. 500 meters of water resistance. Let's see. Something I actually just noticed too. These are not double branded on the dial. The bottom of the dial, through my eye, says 50 Atmos, chronometer, officially certified. So they dropped the second Squale fish logo branding on the bottom of the dial. I think these would have been a lot cleaner without a date, or maybe change it up a bit, put the date on at the 6. But they did what they did, and a lot of people have been asking about these, so I'm sure they're going to be great. I'll try it on, but I do want to do the looms actually, because people have been asking for the loom. Like I said, these are applied and have a loom bezel, and this guy is, these are painted on the dial, and the bezel is not loomed. So I'm just going to leave them all like that, and I'll do a little loomy loom. So you've got COSC, non-COSC. Okay, so there you go. I would say they all glow about the same. I think, would you agree? meaning the two on the left. Just talking dial enhanced, the one on the right, even though the two on the left have applied markers. I think they did a good job painting on the indices on all the 1521s. But the bezel glowing is beautiful. It really fills out the watch, makes it look a lot fuller. Just a lot more eye-catching and just cool to look at. I doubt it's something they'll extend to the rest of the lineup because it now extends this one apart. And I know a lot of other watches have been doing it for years, but oh man, that looks really nice. So here you see it on my 6.5, 6 3/4 inch wrist. Plenty of room on the strap in either direction. Beautiful watch, absolutely beautiful. Now the question is for you, I gotta say, before I say that, I really like that they brushed the finish on this. It just makes each of them a little bit different. You know, the polish and the blasted on the plain 1521s, and now on this one, beautiful brushing. Their brushing is fantastic. You know, people ask, what makes it worth, $1,000? Just look at the case finishing. Amazing, amazing. Now the question for you is, is it worth the extra $600 to have a COSC movement? It's, again, totally up to you. Everyone's going to have their own input on that, but at least now you have the option. And I think that's going to conclude our time together. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you the new Squale 1521 COSC Chronometer Divers. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Questions, comments, concerns, anything else, put it down below and I'll be sure to address it as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.